Do you hear that? Of course you do. It's silence. It's nothing, which is exactly what the Cowboys did at the trade deadline. I'll tell you why I have a problem with that in a moment, but first, today's video brought to you by betonline.ag. betonline.ag is your online sportsbook experts. Also, if you've been subscribed to the channel, you know that I'm giving away Dallas Cowboys 60th anniversary gear powered by Miller Lite. Well, have I got good news for you? Because if you post in the comments below on this video, you've got a chance to win one of these two hats. I'm giving away both of these hats after today's video, so post your comment down below. If you post a comment, you're automatically registered. If you have not subscribed yet to the channel, do so. I'm going to be giving away all this various Cowboys 60th anniversary gear throughout the next month. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post a new video. So the trade deadline has come and gone, and the Cowboys did nothing. Now, I expected that they weren't going to be buyers of the trade deadline unless an unbelievable deal presented itself, which I didn't really see happening with Quinnen Williams or anybody else that Cowboys fans had gotten worked up that they could potentially be landing. What I have a problem with, though, is that the Cowboys stood pat in terms of being sellers. Because the trade deadline is always a seller's market. You have very limited access as a team trying to make a run through players that can help you today beyond players that are available on the street in free agency, and we all know that there's a reason that those guys are available on the street. So it's a seller's market. If you've got teams looking for pass rushing help or wide receiver help, you've got a market. This is why I don't understand why the Cowboys didn't trade Aldon Smith. Now look, we heard that there was a market for Aldon Smith. Brian Broadus, my partner on the Cowboys pre- and post-game show, reported that the Cowboys had received no formal offers, but I find it hard to believe that nobody that's a contender was interested in any capacity whatsoever for a 4th-round pick or a 5th-round pick or even a later pick as a conditional piece to adding Aldon Smith to their roster. Teams are always looking for pass rushing help, especially those that right now feel like they are 1 or 2 pieces away from competing for a division championship and beyond. Look, Aldon Smith has had a really good regular season so far for the Cowboys, but if we're being honest, if his season were a graph, it'd be on its way down, which is why I thought it was perfect timing to be trading him now. Get the most possible value for him. Now, there's 2 reasons for why the Cowboys might not have traded him. Number 1 is maybe there wasn't a market for him. Maybe there wasn't interest in it. Number 2 is maybe they felt like he could have even more value on this team throughout the rest of this season. So then if he does leave in free agency after this season and sign somewhere else, the Cowboys end up with a compensatory pick. But I'm looking for help in next year's draft, not the 2022 draft, which is where the compensatory picks help you. The Cowboys are going to have a boatload of picks in the 2021 draft because of some of these compensatory picks that they've picked up by losing Robert Quinn and some of the other players. But I would have absolutely traded Aldon Smith. He gives you very little value throughout the rest of this regular season, and I'd go through a rotation of some of my other pass rushers to see what I have from some of these younger guys, and I would get something of value for the immediate future in the 2021 draft for Aldon Smith. I'm not sure the Cowboys are going to be able to sign him this offseason anyways, because he's had a pretty good season so far and could command high dollars beyond what the Cowboys are willing to spend on a guy that, again, is starting to at least come down to earth a little bit relative to where he started the season. The other guy I would have thought about trading is Michael Gallup. Don't throw anything at me. And look, I love Michael Gallup. The guy has developed into a really, really premier target for this team. This team is target rich. And it depends, certainly from my vantage point, what you're getting from Michael Gallup. Now, if you had offered a 2nd-round pick for Gallup, that's a deal that I would have taken. An extra 2nd-round pick in this draft, where the Cowboys are going to be taking high in the 2nd round anyways, is gold if you think about that could have been 3 potentially top 50 picks. This isn't a knock on Michael Gallup, and I would not have been in a huge rush to trade him, but if I could have gotten a 2nd-round pick for Michael Gallup, I would have absolutely dealt him the trade deadline because I need as many lottery tickets in the NFL draft as I can possibly get. Plus, obviously, they've got a commitment to Amari Cooper, and obviously, CeeDee Lamb is developing and can become a premier target for this team. There's so many mouths to feed on this offense where I can plug and play other players into that Gallup spot and get similar production. He's a really good player right now that has drastically outperformed his draft status. The Cowboys would have been wise in order to elevate that by trading him for a 2nd-round pick, but who knows if they even got that. And finally, on Tuesday, it was reported that Andy Dalton was not going to be available for the Cowboys on Sunday when they take on the 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers at AT&T Stadium. He is on the COVID-19 list, which doesn't necessarily mean he has it. It just means that he's part of trace testing for it. Could have it or could have symptoms that could be it. I do not think the Cowboys are going to be starting Ben DiNucci on Sunday. I think that they're going to be starting Cooper Rush on Sunday. With all due respect to Ben DiNucci, he did not look like a player that is a NFL starting quarterback on Sunday. There's no other way to say it. He left a lot of meat on that bone, and if the Cowboys had somewhat credible play at quarterback, if Andy Dalton were available to play in that game, the Cowboys might have won it, which actually might be bad news if you're a Cowboys fan hoping that they lose a bunch of games to maximize their draft status. But if Dalton plays, they probably win that game. But DiNucci did, and the Eagles are trying to force DiNucci to make a play down the field, and he just couldn't. Cooper Rush isn't much better, but at least he has some experience, some semblance of having played real NFL snaps, and at this point, you've seen what you need to see from Ben DiNucci. This is a seventh-round pick that many felt like was an undrafted free agent who wasn't even invited to the Senior Bowl, who played at the FCS level last year. Not exactly ready to play in the National Football League, and Sunday's games are evidence of it. I think Cooper Rush gets the start on Sunday. Make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell if you have not yet already, and post in the comments down below, because I'm giving away these two hats to two people that post the comments down below. So post now. Also, shout out to my sponsor, betonline.ag. betonline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.